slow down. So if you haven't already, as asked on that screen, if you can just grab one thing that grounds you in your space, one thing that you have to take care of yourself, maybe is a candle, a glass of water, some incense, a piece of chocolate, some cake. Amen. Happy birthday. And whatever it is that will help you feel grounded throughout this session, as we are going to create space to embrace also the grief and darkness of these times, as much as we say we are the light, be the light, there is also great knowledge and wisdom in the darkness, and our ability to navigate that and move between groundedness and grief. And so we're going to be in that space today, and I invite you to lean in and lean back out as you need, as feels right for you. Most importantly, you want this space to feel safe, and you know you best. So, and this is not a space to answer someone else's challenges, offer advice, or solve someone else's problems. As Bio reminded us, sometimes in the act of solving problems, we are creating the problems or adding more to it. We're not here to solve each other's problems. We're here to listen, here to be and explore the deeper reservoirs of our emotional experience and care, express care. So with that, I invite you to take one deep breath with me. A deep breath in, breathing in calm, and out all the tension in your body. And I'm going to pass it to Zineb to set some context of why and how we are holding this space.
Thanks, Val. On a day and with a theme around weaving the world of our deepest longing. And in this year, which feels particularly hard for some of us, we felt like we needed to have a space to just be in each other and care for one another, starting with ourselves. Thank you for muting. Yeah, as Bayo said, it's part of the the joy of being in online spaces. But yeah, I feel like it's absolutely essential at this time to recognize the pain of the world. I know that for myself, it's been a while that I have not been feeling okay with what's going on. It's been 112 days that there's an ongoing genocide happening on our brothers and sisters in Gaza. That we're seeing people live stream their own massacres and being in spaces where we see them being treated as less than human. And it's in those moments that we realize that really none of us are free until all of us are free. That there's no way that we can actually talk about collective liberation without recognizing the actual context and the actual struggles and liberation struggles that are very, very alive for people right now. I'm also thinking of our brothers and sisters in Yemen that are getting bombed by the US and the UK because they had the audacity to stop ships from going to Israel. They have not killed anyone. They have not committed any acts against life. It is against commerce, and they are still getting bombed. And there's a famine on the ground, and there's no care about those people at all. Similarly, I'm holding in my heart the people of Sudan and the people of the Congo, who have been exploited for decades, if not hundreds of years. And now in particular, with this drive to get green energy in the West that's taken from resources in the Congo, without seeing, again, how we're connected with one another. I'm also holding in our heart, in my heart, and in our hearts, um, all the species. This is sixth max extinction right now. And for the past 7 months, we've recorded the past 7 hottest months. We know that the climate crisis is here and very alive. And it's at this time where we're seeing, the powers at like who are currently in place refusing to actually enact the change. There's been a lot of talk about change and about the righteous actions, but we're actually seeing how empty those are. And in this context, as people who are wanting to actually serve life and recognize our connection with the rest of life, human and non-human, we're in a space where we have to acknowledge that there is a lot of pain and there is a dying of an old world for a new world to be able to be born. So when we're talking about radically reimagining the world of our deepest longing, we also need to acknowledge that there's something that needs to be and that is currently dying for it to happen. Right now, the death is rather violent, but it doesn't have to be that way. I love the concept of hospicing, which is accompanying the death of the old world with grace. We don't have to hate it. We can recognize that it brought us lots of beauty, but that it is time for it to step aside and let a new world be born. And we can do that with love, with grace, and with true revolutionary love in our hearts. So in this time of personal and collective grief, I also wanted to open with this poem from Khalil Gibran, who recognizes the importance of pain and grief in our own processes. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Even as the stone of the fruit must break, that its heart may stand in the sun, so you must know pain. And could you keep your heart in wonder at the daily miracles of your life, your pain would not seem less wondrous than your joy. And you would accept the season of your heart, even as you have always accepted the seasons that pass over your fields. And you would watch with serenity through the winters of your grief. And with that, I'll pass it to Val to guide us to a little bit of a grounding meditation where we come to accept the pain that is part of this process.
Thank you, Z, for sharing what you are seeing in this world and calling us to really slow down and question. And right now is I want you to notice what is in your body at this moment, what you're feeling, just hearing what Zineb just shared. If you're feeling as I am, so my heart has escalated. If anyone is feeling a little bit of heart escalation, raise your hands or give me a heart emoji. Yeah. So this is what we call dysregulation. When we fall into different imbalance, we start to feel a little sweaty. Maybe you started to notice some agitation. Just take a deep breath in and just release. And we're going to practice that in a meditation practice called Window of Tolerance. And this has been practiced by many psychologists that work with trauma and is a way of moving to that place of peace, to that centered, regulated state where you feel calm, where you feel focused, where you feel in control of your emotions. But life happens, and there are times that we experience challenges that move us out of our window of tolerance. And that is called hyperarousal or hypoarousal, that we become a bit off balance, that we start to maybe feel those sensations of anxiety and tension and escalation of our heartbeat and the sweatiness of our palms. Or on the other side, numb, and frozen and and low, and all of those are human responses to being in this world. And so this is going to be a practice that I invite you to to breathe and explore your window of tolerance with me. And uh, and as you are comfortable, the point is not to be comfortable, but to move between that space of outside of our window of tolerance, and then also coming back to our window of tolerance, and always moving between that groundedness and that grief or dysregulation or those other sensations. So we're going to move back and forth between this. And so if you can find yourself in a comfortable position in your chair or lying down on the floor, standing up, however is comfortable that you feel at peace in your body. And you can gently close your eyes or look at your hands in your lap or at a point on the floor. I invite you to take a deep breath in and release the tension in your body. Just notice where you're storing them. Shake it out. Just breathe it out. Breathe into those places of tension and release. Now I invite you to imagine you're standing or sitting or laying in front of a large window. You're standing in front of a large window. This window is your window of tolerance. This is the space where you remain calm, focused, at ease, able to embrace all of life's challenges, whatever it throws at you. Now imagine through this window you are seeing a peaceful scene, peaceful, serene environment. What's out your window of tolerance? Maybe a beach, maybe a garden like the one that we played within yesterday. Maybe a forest, some grass, children playing. Just imagine that peaceful environment outside your window. This is where we would like to be. You can always return to this window by breathing in calm and taking a breath out of whatever is beyond that window. Now imagine that this window is becoming smaller. It's contracting. Notice how you're feeling, perhaps a bit agitated, a bit anxious. Notice your window slowly contracting. Just take a deep breath in to expand your window again. Use your breathing to expand your window. Place yourself back in control of your emotions. Now, let this window in your mind become a bit larger. I invite you to think about the things that make you feel anxious or stressed. Those triggers that get your heart racing. Imagine yourself in front of this window facing those triggers. Notice as you're facing those triggers, how your window is contracting. At any point, take a deep breath. Remember your breath. And remind yourself you are in control. Take a deep breath, breathe in the calm, and breathe out those stressors that you're seeing to return to your window of tolerance. Continue this exercise, imagining yourself facing another trigger, another moment that sets you off into overwhelm or anxiousness or loss, whatever that is. As you face it, return to your breath as you see your window contracting. Breathe in calm. Breathe out stress. Return to the groundedness. You have the capacity for peace. Keep going with this exercise as much as you are able, moving between the groundedness of your window of tolerance to the contractions of facing those triggers. Showing yourself you are able to hold all that life comes at you. At any moment, you can return to that window of tolerance. Just take a deep breath in and release. Finally, I invite you to breathe your way back to your window of tolerance, that peaceful place, those images outside your window. Imagine this window becoming so large, so very large that it encompasses everything. You are calm, you are peaceful, you are one with this peaceful environment. You are able to handle any challenge that life throws at you. Take a few more deep breaths in this place of peace. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and return to this Zoom window. How did that feel for you? I have a few symbols that if you're on your camera or if you are in your without camera, you can use emojis for this. Tell me, for those, did this feel comfortable, safe, peaceful? If you felt in the safe zone the whole time, show me this, your hand symbol. Okay, refreshing, beautiful. If you felt in your stretch zone that you were a bit outside of your window of tolerance for most of that exercise, felt in your stretch zone, show me a triangle. You were stretching. Okay, I see quite a few in their stretch zone. Yeah, honoring that you pushed yourself and allowed yourself to go there. If you were in your panic zone, that you felt outside of your window of tolerance and didn't know how to get back, show me some fingers. Okay. Remember, you always have your breath.
The device is ready for use. You may start measuring.
You always have your breath to return to. Sometimes we get into our panic zone. This practice, if we do it more and more, it helps us expand our stretch zone, that we can return to that place, that center, that we avoid getting into the panic, that we can't bring ourselves back. And that's okay sometimes too. Sometimes we need someone to hold us and remind us to bring us back. And that's what community is here. And so I hope this is a tool that you can bring with you. And also a reminder that we have to feel it to heal it. We cannot heal what's happening within us, within or beyond us in this world without feeling it. And what we resist persists. Whatever we resist still continues within our being. And so that beautiful exchange that Khalil Gibran said of love and loss and pain and joy, they come from the same chasms and capacities for our emotional experience. And so having our container, our window of tolerance expand over time gives us our capacity to really see with a bigger window the world and the problems that we wish to heal. So with that exercise, we're now going to go into a bit of a group experience, and I'm going to pass it back to Z to introduce that.
So now that we've practiced a little bit what it means to actually, we just practiced one exercise of what it means to kind of develop our resilience in when we're facing this pain of the world. And I just want to bring here the words of a Palestinian activist whose name is Marine Barghouti, and who explained recently in one of her talks that your exhaustion is the point, that all the images that are thrown at you is actually part of the violence that is meant to make you so tired that you eventually think, is justice worth it? Is me trying to do something about this worth it? Is me keeping this hope alive, or this sense that I can actually connect in a way that looks different to what the dominant world is even possible? And yes, it is always worth it. The point is that we really need, as a community of people who are trying to hold that new world in our hearts and to plant the seeds and nourish the seedling of that world alive. But we also need to acknowledge that there's a lot being thrown at us. And so in times where we start to feel like we're losing hope, that we're becoming a bit cynical, that we have those thoughts of like nothing is ever going to change, that this is the moment we need to hold each other as a community. And so what we want to do in this space is actually go into breakout rooms and share with one another, what is it that you do when you're losing hope? With the idea that we want to hear all of those little tips, and ways of engaging with those questions and ways of taking care of ourselves in a way that can actually start to give ourselves the toolkits and the community of belonging that enables us to go through these times. So yeah, Val put the questions that we want you to reflect on in the chat. And yeah, like if those questions are making you feel certain kinds of ways, like again, this session is really as much as you're comfortable with. So if you're feeling like you need to step away for a second and come back, that's also one of the ways that we learn to take care of ourselves. So do not hesitate to do that at any point in time. I believe you're going to be sent into breakouts now. So share with openness and deep listening.
This was
See, see some smiles, see some
If
contemplation.
you feel that you can never speak English fluently, I want to show you something. This
Never lose hope. You will be able to. All right. Well, we're gonna do a bit of a reflection on this in the chat. We'd love to hear what emerged in your rooms. We're gonna play some music, and as the music is playing, I'm gonna put some prompts in the chat, and we'd love to hear and source collectively that what the ways in which you take care of yourself when you're losing hope. How do you take care of yourself? I'm curious to know. So that's our first prompt. One way I take care of myself when I feel I'm losing hope is dot dot dot. Share with us. Land. Babies. Dancing, writing, doing long walk in nature, talking with hopelessness, bringing a hug, imagining it's just myself. Speak. Reach out to someone I trust, will listen and respect my thoughts sometimes. Motivational speakers. Play and be silly. Here, changing mindset, reflection. Going. Yes. Bring me to the fun. Thank you all for sharing that. Our next prompt. I wish someone would ask me dot 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 I wish someone would ask me, what is something? What is something that you wish? Maybe it's a wish for this community. Support you in that self-care and all those ways that you just expressed that you do for yourself. Yes, what we've eaten, you're okay or not. We ask a question often in our programs, how are you doing really? My answer in the chat is for myself. I wish I was asked how much time are you spending with you actually love. Visit if you can share in the chat. It would help in this moment. Knowledge, not assumptions. Last prompt, keep bringing your wishes. And our last prompt is, what keeps me going in this work is, what keeps me going in this work is, family, loved by you, sheer stubbornness. I feel you on that, Ana Lucia. Passion and community. Breath. Imagine my child asking me, what did you do at that time? For the human kin. Young girls I'm working with. Love and witnessing the world. Fascinations of life, our wonder, our passion, our desire to take on new challenges. Earth's love for us. Beautiful. Love of life. Love of planet, love of our people. And with these reflections, keep them coming. What keeps you going in this work? I'm gonna close us with this grounding phrase. Wish to keep us going. from Rainer Maria Rilke, which is, let this darkness be a bell tower and you the bell. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. Let us harness the collective pain, the collective joys, the collective resilience that we have seen in this chat to transform it into our biggest strength. And many of us mentioned community here as what keeps us going. This is our core intent, that home is where Youth by Youth is. Wherever you are in this world, you are a click, a call, a chat away from someone somewhere who sees you, who feels you, who's here to listen, here to be and share space so that we can breathe this new life, this new world into existence, community. With that, I want to close us with a practice with a love whoosh, which we have learned from our partners, our allies at Dream a Dream. And those of us who have been in the Youth by Youth world know very well this practice. And so all I need you to do is go charge up all the love, all the responses, everything that you reflected on today in this session, what Bio shared with us this morning, the cafes. Charge up all that love, that energy, that community. And on the count of 3, I want you to whoosh it to everyone on the screen. 1, 2, 3, whoosh. And catch it. Catch it back. Give yourself a hug. It's a hug from everyone's hugs. So much love. Thank you for being in this community of care. And now we have the special treat to co-create with all that energy, with all that love, to design and imagine how might we create a university for the planet.